Alright, well, we're back on that '03 Ford ZX2. I'm just looking at the wires. After pulling this panel off the front here, and get it without dropping too many things, I pulled this front panel off, okay? You just put 4 nails in those little holes there and everything comes off. It's easy. While you're pulling it out, the stereo wire there pops loose, and you got to reach in and get these 2 little guys pushed, and there's one on top. These things here, they're a little more tricky. You're gonna have to reach around with a pick and pop some of these connectors loose so you can get them off. Okay, this is the vacuum switch here. All right, it's got all the vacuum lines on the back. It's got 2 little connectors that bend out like this to get them out. I'm getting a lot of sun glare. Just bend those out. This is one-handed too. Anyway, yeah, that's the off position there, and then you've got vent, AC, and one hand. Max AC is the next click over. Anyway, this is the defrost plug. The little defrost plug on the bottom right. That's the one that supplies the backplane lighting power right here. Okay, and I'll show you that backplane here in a moment. Let me just zoom out some. That's where that plug goes for the backplane lighting. There's one of the light bulbs for it. It's got a bunch of little green covers on the lights and some red ones and a blue one there for the temperature one. But all this is just a little cover that goes over the light there. Just pull on that little cover and take it off. On this particular one, some of them work, some of them don't. So I'm just going to put it on the shop table and see about getting some replacement LEDs or something, and just replace them all and be done with it. Not have to mess with it again because it's a lot of work taking all this stuff off. Anyway, so this is a fan control here, off, medium, low, high, etc., etc. There's the little connector that you have to push out with the little pick. Okay, just when you get that panel loose and you start coming out, you just get up behind there with a little pick and manipulate that plug out a little bit so you can unplug it. Okay. Now this is the reason for the season here. This little temperature control doodad here is a little tricky. There's a little plastic piece. That little plastic piece right there is broke off. Little flag guy there. It goes in that little slot there. Fits in that little slot there. That's where it came out from. And on the other side of this, there's a little deal that rotates. I'll turn it over so you can see it. And it's got a little slot in it. And that little flag pops in a little slot to indicate some position. I don't know where. It never worked on this car. It was always busted, so I have no idea how it's supposed to work. But this is the gearbox for the heat control, the heat flap. Okay, and one-handed operation. I don't know. We could try to give it a. Sorry about the camera moving around, but yeah, there we go. It's just got a little cable in there and it turns. And I'm thinking maybe because that little flag is busted, it's not in the right spot. I don't know. This is the part that goes downstairs and connects to the rod that goes through that works the flap. To get it off, you push this little plastic tab over, and when you push it over, it releases. You see what size it's on this side? Yeah. There's a little tab down inside there that releases off of that shaft so you can get it out. But that's what it looks like on this side. Cable control, kind of cheesy, but I suppose it works good enough. Mine has a little play in it, maybe in the wrong spot. It does have a mark on here that says cold and hot, so need to check into that. Okay, so I turned the knob all the way to the cold position, and that's what we got. All right, so that particular direction worked pretty good. Let me turn it to the hot. Okay, I turned it over to the hot position and it went to the right spot. So there's probably something wrong with the blend door up in there. I'm gonna manually turn it with some pliers and turn the car on and check the AC and see how it's going. But what the problem I'm getting is that the AC is just not cold. It's cool, but it just doesn't get cold as it's supposed to. This is what this panel looks like, and just kind of, I've got all the screws out so it comes apart pretty easily. But this part comes off, and that's what it looks like on the back. There's the little light panel that goes in there, that comes off easy. That's what it all looks like. In this case here, this all looks really nice and heavy duty for a Ford. And for a plastic dash part in general, this is not plastic. It's like a die-cast metal stuff. But this is where the radio goes, and it pops out fairly easily. You've got some clips on each side that pop loose, and it releases right there. These little clips right here. And I just kind of stuck a pick in there on each side and pressed that down, and it popped out pretty easy. Well, anyway, hope this helps somebody. Have a good day.